Everybody, it's Monday, January 13th. Going to do a quick little recap. Gap is filled on QQQ and SPY. On SPY, not QQQ. We filled the selection gap, so I took that off. We kind of undercut it. So what I have right here is the anchor VWAP from the August lows, or from the August. Was this the close or the open? This is from the August, the VIX day. We had that crazy gap down. Um, Now we're kind of pulling into that spot for the most part. But if you see here on the index, I mean we're still below the 9 and the 20, with the 50 starting to flatten out, perhaps curling down. This is really what I've been paying attention to, is from these FMOC candle. I mean that's what we're seeing right now. We're still making lower lows. We're still making lower highs. Right? We could see something potentially like us, perhaps, pulling back into this 584.50 location, and then starting to roll again, or maybe we go a little higher, and then we start rolling again. But it's very difficult out there in the market. I say it's a day trader's market. It's a trader's market. Really hard to kind of trade with any size and conviction, because you mess around and you say I'm going long and it gaps down. So if you are trading, just definitely lighten up in position size. Don't go to max margin and stuff like that with action that you see like this. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to watch this 584.50 spot. I think that's a good area to watch, and the reason why I say that is because from a supply, demand, support, resistance, whatever you want to call it, just a level of interest. We can kind of see right here where we tagged that, like this whole pocket right here. We can kind of see that action right there. That's kind of sticking out, right? Previous resistance, break above, 3 taps here or so. We break, close above, tap here, we close here, right? Break down, close below, then we gap down, and then we buy up for the rest of the day. Make sure this candle is right. This should be up previous close, right? So we did close above the previous close, which is a positive sign. So we did go green on the day, which is a good sign for the markets. It's a start, should I say? But a lot of work still needs to be done, and we'll have to see what happens. QQQ real fast. Just looking at the daily, we're not going to be looking at any weekly charts. It's only Monday, right? So nothing really there. I mean, okay, well, let's go ahead since we're already here. Let's go look at the weekly chart, and I also want to delete this blue line before anything happens. Go check out the weekly real fast. Weekly, yeah, nothing really here. Like I said, bearish engulfing broke down. A lot of work to be done. Nine EMA is curling down. Check out the monthly while we're here. Nothing, broke, December's lows. Right now, that's right where we're at, right near December lows. So, yeah, I mean that's all. Nothing really much there. QQQ. All right, so in QQQ, no, we haven't fully filled this selection gap. We just topped the top of that range, which is around 500. We undercut at 500 by like 30 cents, and then we popped back into this previous bottom from January the 2nd, where we kind of held that next day, and people were thinking, oh, we got to look a little double bottom undercut, and then they gapped it down. Level of interest, I guess. Now you can kind of see this 503 spot, which was previous highs back in July, which we undercutted here. Then we rallied, put in a higher low. Could be the case here, right? That we put in a higher low, and probably start to go a little higher. But we got a 50 that's still inclining, I would say. But 9 and 20 crossed over, it's sloping down. Not much to see here either. So. For the most part, okay. Well, here on the weekly, we did tag the EMA 20, and it looks like we kind of defended that for right now. But again, it is only Monday's price action, so a lot of work still to be done on this candle formation and closure. Just check out the monthly real fast. Like I said, this candle at the top of the trend is not something you want to see. Right, just shows sellers come in, they just sell it all the way down, from 540 down to 505. $40 of downside action, and we're still below that December's candles lows. So getting back above 509 would be more positive, but staying below 509, good chance we can come back further. But in terms of bull market, I don't think the bull market's over. We still have a trend that's intact, and nothing has changed here. I'll just go over the dailies real fast on some of the indices. Daily, here's industrials, Dow Jones. Not really seeing anything here. We kind of broke these lows, making lower lows, lower high. Same thing. For a setup for the long side, you had an opportunity here. Take this short, stop above here. Previous candles lows right here. It works out. I guess better way I can just explain it is if we pull up this tool right here, and we see, what? It triggers for me to take a short right here with a stop above here. That's $5. That's a lot of risk. Definitely trading options, and it's not even worth the squeeze. So I wouldn't even take that setup. Let's go check out Dow Jones Transportation. Dow Jones Transportation trading sideways. I mean, this has been trading sideways since December 19th. You see the price action, or you see the candle, like the line chart. Nothing's here. It's literally nothing. But like I said, we do have a little bit of positives, with some of the things that happen on SPY and QQQ, filling the gap. Putting in a higher low on QQQ, filling the gap on SPY. And then we have a little defense here at the 200 on IWM for right now. For right now. I mean, this was a gap down. This is probably a spot where people who were short, probably looking to cover up. Really, I think the spot really to watch is down here, like this 200 size spot. Maybe I can find another spot here on the weekly. It was a lot of chop here, honestly. I don't know. I might need to redo a lot of these candles or my lines, but coming into the 50-week moving average, first time we done tested that for from this uptrend. So this is a big defense, really. The 200, the 50-week. This is probably a spot where we can probably see a bounce down. Right, you have confluence of the 200-day moving average. You have confluence of the 50-week moving average sitting right here. 50-week then cross the 200 right here. Got your pullback. Got your higher low forming on the weekly. But still some work to be done. But this could be the spot where we can rip a little higher. Since we kind of broke out of this sideways action for almost a year here. All this action here, right? This is where the market did absolutely nothing on the small caps, and then we kind of broke out, went higher with rates being cut. So interesting to see that. Might gotta look at some IWM stocks. What else I need to look at? Looked at IWM. So I looked at pretty much all the index stocks I want to look at. So we can take a quick check at Bitcoin. So we have Bitcoin. This bearish engulfing candle here kind of led to some downside action. We kind of undercut this 90,000 spot. So let me just do this. Let me just change this to 90,000 because that was really the spot on it. Right, like this 90,000 spot, we kind of undercutted it just a bit, about $1,000, and then we reclaimed, licked up. But I mean, again, just trading sideways for the most part. There's no trend here, right? A lot of choppy action, lower highs for right now. But it's positive to see it get bought up right here. Real big level of interest is this 200 inclining moving average and these previous all-time highs. This 73, 75 location, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. We can go take a look at Ethereum real fast. I don't care about no Ethereum. Anything else here that I want to look at? Okay, let's go look at rates. So this shit doesn't matter until it matters. We got rates sitting up here at highs, making new highs. I mean, trend's still in structure. It could have pulled back, yes. Right, could have some relief on the market, but really the spot we need to watch is this 5% level. I mean, this has been a key level. I wouldn't say a key level, but this kind of like marked the bottom in the October 2023, and then now that led to the bull run of 2024 that we had when we see 20 plus percent on the market. But the thing with with rates is they say they're cutting, but rates are going higher. All this cutting action that they've been saying, rates are still going higher. Very interesting to see. Market can be irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So just be mindful of like what you see. Again, looking at rates, I think I did this before with some of the higher highs it was making. Finally broke trend. Really, again, need to watch up here into this 5 location. This is the weekly. We are coming into the 50 week from below, so this is a good spot to see if it's going to reject. So again, some more positive signs in the market, but we are above the 200 day. We're above a sloping 50 that's inclining. 10 and 20s done crossed over, turning higher. Need to see what happens. TLT, I want to say it was an inside day. Yeah, inside day for the most part. I mean, kind of undercut the lows from the day before, but it's still trending down. Check this out. Nothing here. No, broke his previous lower, higher low. Perhaps it comes down to 82. It looks like. Nothing here as well. I mean, we just take a look at bonds and what it look like. It just doesn't look good. And this is just a monthly trend from 2021. No, bonds has just been getting absolutely deteriorated. Or the 20-year bond, should I say. So that's what we got there. Go check out Dixie real fast. No, the dollar's trending higher. This is definitely going to put a little damper on some of your stocks out there, right? The dollar is if the dollar is higher, then there's a chance that our products cost more for others as well outside of the country. I'm not going to get too much into econ, but from a chart perspective, the dollar higher is not a good sign. As you can see, 2024, we were back here in June, bottom here in September. Let's go take a look back in. We do that October, right? So back in October when we kind of bottomed back here, we're like 107 or so, right? Towards the end of the month, we had that bottom. And now, we're sitting here at 109 a year later. So, year over year or whatever, dollar's still going higher. VIX, I don't really, I've been following VIX. I think you pay attention when it matters. Elevated VIX is definitely something that matters. But, from a trend perspective, probably can't really see, but this 65 minute had like a little trend from this, this, this 1580 spot or whatever we kind of broke below it. It could be one of those haha fake outs, oops reversals, and get back in trend. It's still making it, or even if it breaks above 19, 65 or so again, this would kind of indicate a higher low from this previous higher low. So this pivot would get calculated, and it's a chance we can turn even higher. But just something I'm watching, something I'm mindful of, to see, if volatility is going to continue to pick up. All right, we're going to take a look at some of the mag stocks. Again, I took a look at some stocks. There's nothing really out here that interests me. I'll talk about a few things, and perhaps, there's some things we can, work with. But looking here, nice little hammer candle on Apple. But, where it stopped at was like, okay, it was just like no man's land. It's kind of like this chop area. So I don't really see a setup there on that. Amazon, I think I got a spot on Amazon, but I want to see if this gap and where this 50-day is at, see if this holds. You kind of got this gap up here, and you got the 50 right here as well. So you have some confluence, and as well as kind of lines up with this previous breakout spot, right, or this previous resistance spot where we kind of pull back all the way down to 200. Right, $15 move down, or in other words, right, from here to here, right, about a 10% correction or so, then we rally to all-time highs. So let's see if like this area can hold on Amazon for a move. Let's go take a look at the weekly real fast. Right, weekly's holding the 9, the weekly 9. Okay, I found a stock. Okay. Let me just write this out. All right, so yeah, something there on weekly. Not a bad look. Like I said, perhaps we come down into like this, that is 214 or so, kind of undercut that gap or whatever. Well, let's see. All right, go check out Google. Google, we got on Google. A little hammer candle, uh, kind of holding the 20 right now. This previous breakout spot, it was 190, 191.75. See if you get back above there, but um, doesn't look bad. But I don't see a setup. I guess not a setup that I want to play. So Microsoft. I'm not even gonna look at Microsoft. We already know what I think about Microsoft. It's a child fest until proven elsewise. Go check out Meta. No, inside that you can kind of expect that when you got a range like this, right? This from 630 all the way down to no, 597. It's about 33 bucks a range. Good chance we trade inside that candle. So nothing really here. I mean, you do have the little catalyst with snapping, TikTok and stuff like that. Nvidia, man, they were hammering the bad news on this, and they were still buying it up. So we're kind of holding this 132 spot. You kind of see us hold here, undercut here. Then we rallied, made briefly new all-time highs, but we didn't close there, so it doesn't really matter. So don't really see a setup again. I don't think I need to. I can probably keep this. I think this is a gap. I think we filled that gap, so there's no need to look there. But there's no true setup here. I don't see a setup. I mean, this consolidation. And we did this consolidation before, all the way back here. We consolidated for I wouldn't say consolidated, but we traded sideways for 176 days before we finally broke out. So what 369? About 4 months of consolidation. We're not even halfway through that time period. Let me see where we're at right now. All right, we're about 99 days in. Depends on how I look at this consolidation, though. Yeah, I can pull it from here, perhaps. Oh, not much. Take that off before it has me do something stupid. Stocks above their 50, above their 200 day. That is this one right here where you see my cursor. See if you see it, get a little bigger. No, 51% of stocks are trading above their 200 day on the SPY. For the Nasdaq, 53%. So we really like if we really want to find some good long spots. We want to see this get weaker. You know, some of the weak points I would say is down here, right? We get around 40%, right? That kind of marked the bottom from 2023. That marked the bottom from the August. I think that's a good indicator. To probably look for. If shit hit the fan, this is where you kind of again. This is where you you call grandma and tell her to sell the kitchen sink, right? You see these COVID lows. You see this January 19th. Very interesting. And I can go back to probably 2008, right? In 2016, I think this was a China crisis. And where is computer's running a little slow? Okay, and now we're starting to get into the great financial crisis, right? When you get down into 3-4%, you should be buying long term. Definitely if you have a longer time horizon. But yeah, nothing's really there. Again, not really seeing a lot of stocks that I like. This docu kind of interests me. Looking here at the weekly, so let me just do this. So you kind of see this weekly pullback. I shorted this stock from 93 down to 89. Got about 70% on the January 17th. And then I just cut them. I took them off when SPY hit 580. We kind of hit that double bottom look. I took these off. Kind of holding this weekly 9. But I want to see this kind of build out. The market does want to turn. It's still in this earnings gap, but kind of trading sideways, kind of showing the selling has kind of died down. So perhaps you sort of got a trend building here. It's not the best looking trend. Uh, can't even pull it from the high, so not really. Nothing really there. Again, yeah, this is when I sold it back here, or yeah, one of these days back here. But yeah, not really seeing much. Let me check out this GoDaddy. I've been meaning to look at this. Um, okay, at the 50, undercut, pull back. Nothing really there. Oh, let's go look at Tesla. So Tesla had a crazy run up towards the end of the day, and I'm so mad that I didn't pair this together. So what we had today was DJT, which is the Trump Media stock, this run up, and I think it closed near its highs as well, and it was actually running in aftermarkets as well to like $42 or so. Right, so this was up 21% today. Kind of see this sideways action. I think this is a run up into the inauguration, and knowing that and seeing how this stock performed going into the election, right? It was so, I wouldn't say idiotic of me, but I wish I would have um, been able to see this thesis a little bit better. That perhaps this could make a run as well with the earnings. I mean, with the Donald Trump inauguration. Only thing is, like, honestly, I didn't really see a setup uh, on this chart for the most part. Why is this doing this? Why is this all the way up here? Auto fit data screen. Why does it look like that? All right, there we go. All right, so I didn't see a setup here, but it looked like one came late in the day. Right, we had this push at 12 o'clock, pull back, right, breaking back down. You think like, oh, this is nothing, right? Kind of just consolidated at yesterday's or Friday's close price right here. See this, this 355 candle, kind of just trading right there, and then we kind of break back down. Then you get this run up with 30 minutes left in the market. All right, and this moves $10. I mean, I still don't see what the setup was on this, but besides the pair trade, but we do have like a little break of this trend from these highs. And after market, the stock was like at 409, 410. In the post market. So it could have some legs tomorrow, right? We see here is at 413 in the post market. It could have some legs tomorrow. I think the interesting spot to watch on Tesla for this week would be 420. And the reason for that, we all know what the emphasis of 420 has with Elon. He kind of shits about it or talks about it a lot. It's kind of like right up in here because I remember this day here because I shorted it this day after kind of noticing this structure here, and I took the break and the close below here using like a 5 minute chart, and got a nice little move down. Um, so I want to see what happens when we get up into like this 418, 420 spot. See what happens there if we do get there. But again, we are above the pre post market. We are above the 10 and the 20 or the 9 and the 20. So gotta be mindful that dips probably get bought if that happens. They report back to those levels. That's really about it. I did start a position in Moderna. I can go over that one real fast. I think Moderna, from a valuation perspective, I think it's an attractive price to get in at. I did talk about this in my last video. I wanted to see it wash out some of these fucking traders that was in it. And I knew there were traders in it because I can just tell by like looking at the weekly, like people seeing like, oh, this is a previous, weekly breakout spot from COVID, and we're pushing higher. We got a higher low here, right? And then this ramps up all the way into about $50 or so. And then we gap down, washing out a lot of those traders. So ignoring this candle here because that's OPEX. That's when options were expiring. This is like capitulation type of volume. And the reason why I say that because when we make this bottom here, look at the volume, right? This is like pretty much the highest volume it's traded in quite some time. Going back a year now, and I can't really find. Maybe here. So what's this date? That's a Tuesday, so it can't be OPEX. See if I can find it. Right. I'll be back here. And this is probably like the parabolic short day. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Which day was this? Gap up. No, that's not the perp. I can't remember what the parabolic short day was. But that's a lot of volume. All right, it's a lot of volume here. All up into like 300, about 340. Who knows what it was us at pre-market? But yeah, we haven't seen that much of volume here. But from a valuation perspective, I think this is a good opportunity to at least start a position. That's what I did. Kind of I like the term make contact, or what some people say invest and investigate. So I've started my investigation into this company from a valuation perspective, trading their book price, enterprise value to prices pretty well. Even price to sales is not bad for a growing stock. I mean, this is still an early stage stock, right? This stock IPO back in 2018, still in its early development. I mean, if you kind of seen like a Wickenoff, whatever his name is, I mean, this looks like a stage one, right? You get your whatever stage this is, stage four, whatever, pulls back. Perhaps we're making a stage one. This can consolidate. Who knows? Maybe for an entire year. That's fine though, because I want to build a position around these prices. Really around like I'll look them at a little bit more, mid 30s, mid 20s or low 30s, mid 20s. But I think this is a promising stock with really cutting edge technology with that mRNA stuff. You gotta think like these people came up with a fucking vaccine in 2 weeks, right? Now, did it have some no issues perhaps, right? But it was a life saving type of vaccine. It may not have been something you needed, but there were people out there who did need it, and it was helpful for them. I think them being able to develop that. I think they still have some things in their pipeline where perhaps this stock can be at $80, and no one wouldn't even bat an eye, right? You're talking about you're up 100% on your position. I think this is a good opportunity. Now they did cut their revenue forecast for next year. I think that's why the stock was down about 20%. But they also mentioned that their cash on hand was $6 billion, and prior to that, I know it was $9 billion. So they burnt like $3 billion in cash. So based on that cash burn rate around $3 billion a year, they got like 2 years left of cash before they have to go out, get some debt, or sell some shares or some shit. They do have some promising things in the pipeline with some of their cancer and birth defects things that's out there. And I think RSV is probably something we should pay attention to, because now I got younger kids and I have to take them to the hospital. The doctor's checking for RSV. I don't know what's the history on the RSV, but it's definitely prominent. During the winter season. So we'll see what happens. If I get burned, I get burned. Risking what I can afford to risk. But I haven't even really started a position. So. But yeah, that's about it. Last thing I would do, I like to do this. This is the beginning of the year. We'll see how this looks at the end of the year. I mean, at the end of the month. But what I do is what's leading the market right now? So this blue line right here is XLE. What I talked about before was energy. This next line here is XLV, which is healthcare, which I talked about before as well. And the next one up here is XLB, which is materials. Which is interesting to see XLE, XLV, and XOB up. And hear me out. Here's my thesis. Seeing these three sectors up together suggests two things. Either economic growth, recovery, or perhaps we're in like an inflationary environment again. The reason why I say that is because usually like when you see rising prices in commodities like materials and energy, and also in cases like healthcare, because healthcare is considered like essential spending, right? If you break your fucking leg, you got to get it fixed. To see those three leading is kind of showing me like perhaps that's where money's flowing into. So I got to do a little more digging into these stocks. Hopefully we can get a pullback. I'm not looking to buy options on these, I'll probably do shares because some of the bid and ask on some of these are like 30, 40 cents. I don't want to have a $40 spread on something on an option. They're just not that liquid. They don't trade that much. But it's very interesting to kind of see that these three are is what's really leading the market. Very early stage year to date, right? It's only Monday the 13th. 2 weeks into the market, that's what we're seeing. Maybe if I look out to the month, let's see if we got here on the month, from a month perspective. What's this? Still XLE, still XLV, and what's this one right here? IBB, right, which is down about 1%, about 2%. That's just looking at it from the last month. So that's really about all I got. We'll see what happens tomorrow. From an economic calendar perspective, we do have PPI tomorrow. Then we got Fed speaker at 10. Some bullshit auction. Wednesday, some mortgage numbers come out. Then we got no CPI. Then some Fed speakers right after that. This CPI is probably gonna be a market mover. And then Thursday, continuous jobless claims. See what happens there. 15-year mortgage rates, 13-year mortgage rates. And Friday doesn't look too bad. Nothing really during the market, which is good. So maybe we pump on fucking Friday. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we pump on Friday because there isn't really much to look for. But that's about it from an earnings perspective. Ooh. Okay, United Healthcare is coming up. We got banks, big banks, little banks. Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs. What they say is going to definitely probably move the market. How the earnings reaction goes probably moves the market as well. So, I think we just sit back and wait. If you want to try to take some day trades, fine. I think you just be a little patient. Let me see if anything had set up. If we do this, I don't want to change that. So let me just close that. Close without saving. Let's go look at SPY intraday. Was there anything you could have done intraday on SPY? Anything intraday on SPY we could have looked at? I don't really see anything I would want to play. Literally did shit for the afternoon session. Literally just traded sideways. Pulled back to the 20. Traded sideways. Kind of undercut this higher low. Just nothing doesn't look clean. Alright, it doesn't look like this right here. Alright, you see that. So what I have is I think I still got it marked out. I'll show you. Someone's asking me about how do I use the tick. Someone kind of like shitted all over my my approach, but it's not my fault. You can't interpret whatever that word is. It's not my fault you're not able to kind of gauge this, but here's a good sign for yesterday. I think this was Friday. You kind of see here on SPY when it was doing this break, and let me see if I can do this real fast. That same time, we had the advanced decline line and the minus 1700, right? About 1700 stocks advancing lower based on our prior day close. Then we kind of break structure right here around 12:30. Same time we break structure here around 12:30 on the index, right? Same time VIX had broke structure to the upside, and then we also had this situation here where we had, let me do this. Probably looks a little too big. We also had a situation here. We had some divergence on tick. So tick made a low back here, and this is early in the morning, right? Tick made a low, but as we were going lower, tick never made a new low. So even though we made new lows right here, tick never made a new low. All right, showing you some divergence. If you see all that lining up, I thought it was a good case for you to kind of take a loan. And it made sense to take a loan back into this 584.50 spot, which was these previous lows back here from December 30th. The spot that we talked about on the daily chart, on this 584 spot. So yeah, that's really about it. I don't have anything else to say. Peace. God bless.